Hey, this is Tony from Mammoth Underground Farm, and today I probably picked the hottest day to do this project, but this is when I have time, so I needed to get it done. So what I'm doing here is I picked up these great fig trees from a guy named Mr. Figs, Bill Figs, one of the best fig growers. He's actually here in New Jersey, so I visited his fig farm. He has, I don't know, close to 200 fig trees that some of them are as old as 17 years old, and they produce up to 200-300 figs per tree. So here in New Jersey, unfortunately, they say you can wrap a fig tree in the winter so it can survive, but that's not the case. I have 2 fig trees that I planted in the ground because that was my first intention. Here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's all these shoots that came up, but they all came up from the ground, so I had dieback. All of my existing shoots, some of them back here, are just dead. So even though we had a mild winter, and even though I wrapped it in burlap, these fig trees pretty much died back down to the ground. So you're starting from scratch. The roots are sending up new shoots, and you only get figs on new growth. So it just doesn't make sense in this climate to grow figs in the ground. So I'm going to pull these guys up and put them in pots like I did here. So what you do is you get these large, I think it's a 25 gallon, it's a resin, it's hard plastic. The wooden barrels are great, but they break down over time. This will last forever. So I'm just creating a wicking system here, and this is Bill's design. I don't take any credit for it. So it's just PVC, 4-inch PVC pipe, and you line it in. You have 2 areas where you can fill your dirt, and I'm going to put a burlap cover over this, and the dirt will fill up here. This is where it will wick up and moisture will rise up. I have a drainage hole right below. The PVC goes up to this 4-inch mark, and then right below it I have a drainage hole. So with the PVC, it'll create air. The soil will wick the water up. This is the water chute where I will put the water in. Figs need about 4 gallons of water a day. They're very thirsty drinkers, so this will provide that they get adequate watering. And then I'm going to put the burlap over top of this so that no dirt can get into the wicking system. And then after I fill it up, this is what it looks like. So I have it mounted pretty high, about 3 inches above the bucket line. As you can see, this is a blue giant fig, and over time this is going to sink down as the dirt settles. It's going to sink down into here. Now for dirt, this is for one planter. This is how much dirt. It's about a wheelbarrow full. I did 3 buckets of my deep litter chicken system compost that I got from the chicken yard, which is fully broken down. It's got all sorts of goodies in there. And then I did 3 5-gallon, well, I wouldn't say it was full. I filled the dirt till about here. So 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket, 3 of those of the chicken litter, chicken deep compost system. Then I did 3 buckets of this mushroom compost that I have. And then I mixed in where's my bucket? I mixed in lime, and I mixed in this this extra fertilizer. I think I have the bucket in here. Yes, I do. So I have this this old dog treat bucket, which works great. So I filled this bucket about halfway with lime because figs need an alkaline type soil. So this is going to add, plus it's going to add magnesium and calcium, not really found in soils, in acidic soils here in New Jersey. Very sandy, well draining. So this will add the necessary calcium and magnesium that the plant needs, and it will also raise the pH because my soil here on my land is acidic, and the broken down wood chips aren't going to add any alkalinity. So add about half a container of this. So this is about a 2-gallon bucket, so I would say about 5 pounds, 1 gallon of lime, and then I just added a fertilizer, about a half a cup of fertilizer. But the soil that I have has tons of fertilizer in it, so that's a little slow releasing. It'll give it the fig tree some food over time. And I will, even though Bill doesn't recommend it, but I'm gonna do my own thing, and I'll probably spray these guys with foliar sprays of fish emulsion, seaweed, and goodies like that to give the some foliar nutrition throughout the year. But this is the best way. So I'll use a dolly, and what happens is, they say figs are hardy up to 15, 16 degrees Fahrenheit, but that's not the case, because I had dieback and the temperatures didn't even get that low this winter. So in the garage, I'm going to store these in the garage. It's only going to get to about, around 35 degrees in the garage, and these figs will do fine. They'll just sit there. So what I'll do is I'll fill this guy up with water, give him one last watering before the winter, which is so I'll store him around mid-November, and he goes in the garage, and they just stay in the garage, and then they come back out in April, and that's it. And then in April you just do some fertilization, whatever fertilization you want, to the top of the soil, and that's it. And so I'm hoping that these fig trees crank me out 150 to 200 figs each. Maybe not next year. These are 2-year-old / 3-year-old figs, and what I can do is, you also have to trim back at the end of the season some of the new growth. So I'll probably trim back this guy, and this guy about halfway, and what I'll do is I'll put these cuttings in small pots, and then I'll grow new fig trees. So I'll just keep multiplying the number of fig trees that I have. So here's my other 2 varieties that I'm going to plant, and then this is my last guy that I have over here, which I'm going to dig up in September, October, somewhere around there. Take these guys out and put them in pots. I'll probably, since these guys have multiple shoots here, I might take divvy these guys up into 2 or 3 plants each. So I have, this is a brown turkey, and the other guy on the other side I showed before was a Chicago Hardy. And then I asked Bill if there were any specific varieties that wouldn't, which we would need to grow because of our climate, but he said as long as you store them, you can grow any variety you want. So I got a Celeste and I got a Cecilia. Those are my other 2 varieties. So I have them so that they're staggering figs. I'll be getting figs early in the season, mid-season, and late season. So I have trees that produce ripen the figs at different times. So I'll have figs throughout the whole fig season. And figs I believe they start ripening in the September time frame. So I guess late August, I would say, till maybe early October, somewhere around there. So that's it. If you're going to do figs in New Jersey, this is the way to go.